Hello. So, the purpose of this guide is to one, get you good at Mahu, and two, get you good at Mahu. I'm not going to be going into how to fight him or how to fight with him against every class, but more as I'm going to be going to teach you some one basic stuff and two maybe some potential combos that you can do with him. All right. All right, to start things off, Mahoraga's stats. This was taken from the Trello, so I'll probably put a link in the description about, or you can go and look at the Mahu's stuff in the Trello, in the Untitled Combat Demo Rework Trello. All right, to start, he has a total of 80 HP, although this might not be true because recently updates came out, and I don't think the Trello was actually updated to this. He might actually have 70 HP, so I'm not too sure right now. But moving on from that, he cannot block. He can sprint for 10 seconds and has a increased running speed than every other character. He is much faster. He regenerates mana and stamina in 5 Sorry. In order to play him, you need to summon Mahoraga in a server, and then kill 70 people to play him. You can tell you're making progress if you go into the menu and go to Mahoraga's class screen, and you can see the divine status and crap like that. And I believe one kill is 1%. So yeah, you need to kill 70 people to play him. Once divine status is 100, you can then play Mahoraga. All right, now on to his moves. Let's start with one. One, he just does a standard punch. You fly forward and then you punch. That it usually works well with like in a combo and shit like that. Although hitting someone who's constantly circling around is very difficult, and player Mahu's punch is a lot different than AI Mahu's punch. The AI Mahu tends to fly towards his opponent even when he's clearly miles away. This usually happens when he does air 2, which is the ground slam, and then flies towards his opponent. You can't do that with player Mahu when you play as him. The punch is just really good for either doing a combo or just straight up, just being an attack. Just attack. All right, now his second move too is the shockwave. He goes on one knee and then starts to get larger, and then eventually do a shockwave move. Launches his opponent miles away, and this can go into good combination with Air 1, where Mahu flies towards his opponent and slams his blade down. Alright, on to the third move, which is Mahu 3. Mahu 3, this is by far the riskiest move to use. One, because you don't go very far while using it, and two, it can easily be punishable. Like you are very vulnerable when you use it. So using it is a huge risk. But Mahu will ready his sword and come crashing down on his opponent's position. The range isn't very high, but it does good damage. I believe it's like 6. So it's a good move to one break every super armor, every super level of super armor in the game. So this move is amazing against opponents who use let's say an ultimate move. especially Sukuna's Dismantle and Kara's Special Hell. Against Dark Lord's ult, it could work. Honestly, it depends if the Dark Lord just decides to fly up or not. It breaks every super armor level, so it's really good to punish somebody if they were to do that. However, keep in mind that Sukuna's Dismantle, you want to hit him before he completes his Q quick time event. If you don't, he'll get invincibility frames and you will take damage because Mahu's too big to avoid Dismantle. At least that's as far as I've seen. This could be wrong. Now on to his counter, which is 4. Mahu 4, Mahu will swing his blade down, and the little fist with the icon will appear above you, and if someone touches you with a melee move at all, they will, you and the player, or you and your opponent will fly back, and you will get full mana, which is really useful. By far, his counter has a very low cooldown, and overall is just good at, avoiding taking damage. It can be very spammable because of how the cooldown is, but it's very good, and you should use it a lot. Fun fact: you can also adapt to your own counter, meaning if you go flying and use the adaptation, which we'll get into, you can actually adapt to it and not fly away, meaning you can punish people who do fly away. Now on to his adaptation. His adaptation is by far the worst thing he has. I mean, it's not as good as the AI Mahu. The AI Mahu's adaptation is a lot more consistent than player Mahu's. So there's 2 types of adaptation you will get. One is where you do the when you time it off and you just get hit normally, and the wheel will spin. Quick note here: I forgot to say that when you fly away from your opponent, when you use Mahu 4, the counter, and once you recover, do not press 9, or do not even press 9. You need to adapt when you get hit by somebody. Then you adapt, and then if you do it quick enough, you should be able to adapt to your own counter. Sorry about that. I kind of fucked up and crap and shit like that. Then the perfect adaptation is where you use it the moment you get hit by a move. Mahu will do a different adaptation. The wheel will spin in a different way, and a different sound will play. If it's the standard adaptation, you will adapt less effectively, meaning it's kind of useless. I mean, come on, it's not really that great. But the perfect adaptation heals you if you manage to land it, and also you adapt a lot more effectively. Also, here is a example of the 2 different adaptations. Now onto his air moves, which is Air 2. Air 2, I've already explained before, it's a ground slam, so if you jump and then press 2, you will fly towards your opponent and kind of slam the ground with a large shockwave. And it's very good for straight up interrupting some projectile move they might use. And it's also a really good move to just use in general, since it has a big radius and it's kind of hard to dodge. People can still dodge it, by the way. And it's punish free, I'm pretty sure. It is really hard to punish a Mahu who uses Air 2. On to Air 1. Air 1 is where Mahu flies a great distance and comes crashing down with his blade. We've talked about this. And this is good for comboing with 2. If you, like I said before, if you Mahu 2 and then Air 1, you can actually do a combo as long as you don't move. you might want to move backwards because Air 1 flies in a very specific way, so you won't be able to, you might go overshoot your target, so don't do that. Fun fact, you can actually go a very short distance with Air 1 as if you're very close to your target. So you don't have to, be too cautious about it. Just make sure you don't back up too far or you'll go flying and overshoot. Now on to some, I guess it's like, general basic tips you can use. I'm not really good at this, so bear with me. But well, what I could say about Mahu is that you can play very aggressive at times, but most people will probably assume, since they're this big giant monster that's supposed to be super powerful, no. Doc made Mahu very, very exploitable, almost like it's nuts to me how exploitable the Mahoraga can be, especially against certain characters, mainly Sans. Sans is a huge issue for Mahu. So one thing I would say is avoid fighting Sans, because you will probably get your ass whooped, unless they're garbage, which most Sans players for some reason are not. I don't know why every Sans is a god in this game, but they are. Make sure you don't get too aggressive because you are very punishable. You can easily get punished. Honestly, playing Mahoraga feels like you're just a different character. You just feel like you're Enforcer. Enforcer has a lot of close range options, kind of same with Mahoraga. Except Mahu has less moves, excluding martial art moves. I don't want to talk about martial art right now because this video is strictly on Mahu's, stuff. But overall, Mahoraga kind of just feels like a super buffed version of Enforcer sometimes. Enforcer, you can play really aggressive and stuff like that. Same with Mahu, but if you get too aggressive, you will start getting punished left and right because Mahu just has too much end lag, and his adaptions do not help much. If you're gonna adapt, good for you, and if you can hit perfect adaptions, good job. But overall, he's very, very exploitable in a fight, especially against Sans. Sans just destroys Mahu. Now, you might be wondering why I didn't mention his left mouse button and right mouse button. Well, that's because most of those moves actually are the combos that you will be using a lot of the time. Sorry. So let's talk about his punch ground slam. You do it by simply standing still and left clicking. You will do a ground slam. If you hold A or D, you will do a quick slash. Yeah, you'll face in that direction, so don't do it too far. It's hard to do. It's usually for a combo. And then the last one, you can do a kick. You can jump and then left click and you'll do the kick. This is your main form of attacking. You will be using the kick a lot. And I recommend when you land the kick, rush or dash over to them and then do the quick slash, because that does more damage. Originally, I was getting this wrong by ground slamming, which does 3 damage. If you do the slash after the kick, you will do 4 damage, which is, better, so do that. And if you can, just make something up, follow it up. Do either a punch or like do the shockwave or whatever. You can even do air 1 sometimes if they don't move. But, yeah. So, and then of course, his iconic, most annoying move in the game that used to be so broken that it made everybody fighting him, AI or not, hate him. His right mouse button. Now, this thankfully, as it has been nerfed. He has a bigger cooldown. You'll notice when you're actually using it. But it has a big cooldown now, and it's not that big. You can sometimes spam still, but it's harder to do now, obviously. But the projectile throw. Now, if you're near an object, doesn't matter what, I'm pretty sure. As if it has to be recently broken off whatever it was whatever it was on. So like say the lampposts that you see all around. If you break them off and quickly run over and grab it, you can throw it at an enemy. It's fast, high speeds. Takes literally like Mahu picks it up and throws that thing in like 0.5 seconds, and it can be blocked, but depending on the projectile. So if it's a big projectile, I don't think it can't be blocked. Although recently I've seen people block trees. Apparently you can block the trees. This I know I just screwed all the Mahu mains, but you can actually block the tree for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. You can throw the big giant brick walls on the buildings and stuff, which most Mahus do against Sands. Sands is literally just the biggest reason why most Mahus lose. It's just he's just projectile. He's a zoner, and Mahu struggles at fighting a person who's staying away from his optimal range. So basically, the strat to beating Sands usually is to just straight up sitting by a building and throwing spamming projectiles. And I know that seems kind of passive, but literally, you will if you ever fight Sands, you will know why you will know why Mahus hate Sands. I know I wasn't getting into strategy, but I just wanted to shit on Sands because Sands is just a nightmare to deal with. Now, that's about it in terms of what he can do and stuff. His combos, unfortunately, the combos, I can't really expand upon it. Like, Mahu doesn't have much combo potential, unfortunately. Literally, the only combos he can potentially do consistently is his kick, ground slam, and slash, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You kind of just have to make it up as you go, and you will meet impossible odds. There are certain players that will defeat you, unfortunately. Mahu is just really exploitable, and it's super hard to play him. Play him for the first time. For the first time, you will probably lose. It takes time, unfortunately. On top of all that, Mahu has some extremely enraging bugs that also tend to happen at seemingly random. He has the forever, I don't even know what to call it. He has where if he gets both his legs cut off and they regrow, he will still be slow, and you will be stuck like that forever. So have fun with that. You're basically screwed at that point because you can't move anymore. You can still dodge quickly, but you just can't move. You're slow as a snail, which can ruin potential combos. He also has, this is not really a gameplay infecting, but he also has the where he gets all his limbs cut off and he can't get them back. Although this might be patched recently. Do correct me if it is patched recently. I haven't noticed it much, but it could still be there considering I've lost a leg and I've regrown and it still doesn't come back. So expect that to happen. Now this isn't just for Maho, but every player struggles with this. If you are knocked up against the wall and even maybe the ceiling and stuck there, there's a chance that you can fly out of control. If you dash, you will go flying immediately. To this day, I have no idea what causes this bug, and it just happens at random. So if this happens to you, you are essentially screwed unless the gods of UCDR fix you, because that has happened before. You can fix it. I have no idea how. But that's only if the gods of UCDR grant you. I've had a moment where I was flying across the map forever and I had to straight up safe travel to save myself. Fun fact, Mahu can safe travel, but it's very buggy. There's a way to do it. You need to join a game, and you'll get the error message that you can't join a game. You can't join the game because your class limit is full. You have to hit back to menu and then join back. If that doesn't work, I would try other servers. Eventually, you'll get it. Mahu can safe travel. It's just buggy, but you can. And also, spam tons are your best friend. They give deals, and Mahu needs Bowtie to be effect. Or he doesn't really need it, but it's useful. Extra HP is useful, and the poison is also fairly useful. Um, and Mahu will be getting money fast. He is strong, and he's really a big noob killer, since noobs don't really know what to do with him, what to do against him, since they've never fought him before. Even somewhat veteran players sometimes are lost against him. So yeah, you will be getting money fast. So use it with spam 10. Spam 10 is very helpful. Exploit it while you can. Mahu also used to have a infinite kick glitch that was pretty fun. This is more of a fun fact, but I feel like it was worth mentioning because it was hilarious. He could, if he had both his arms and if he had both his arms and everything, he could only kick. So you could do an infinite kick. It was basically a free kill, since you can't. The cooldown is instant, so you can't just punish the Mahu. He'll keep you stun locked forever, basically. Mahu also has a execution that can be performed by two ways. One, if your opponent does a melee counter, it has to be melee, and you connect the Mahu normal one or Mahu one punch, the punch, and if it connects with your opponent while they counter, you will do a quick time event sequence. You and your opponent will be punching, and your fists will clash, and you will start doing a quick punch. This is a reference to Mahu versus Sukuna, and where Sukuna and Mahu clash fists and start doing like rapid punches quickly. You win this by hitting the keys on your keyboard. I am terrible at doing this, but you're a keyboard warrior, so you can easily do it. If you hit enough keys, then your opponent, you win, and they will go flying back. If they win, you will not go far, and you will be stunned for literally like 0.2 seconds. So it really is just a cool thing. The second way is if your opponent is red critical health, you'll notice when they're flashing red. If you hit them with one, they will do the quick time event sequence. It can be done indefinitely, basically, as long as your opponent keeps winning. So yeah, just a little fun thing you can do. Now, you may be wondering why I didn't mention GTC at all in this video, aka Glitchtail Kara. That's because Kara already is overpowered in this game and basically beats everybody. Kara is also a major issue for Mahu. I mean, she's a major issue he is basically a major issue to every character in the game. He's just super powerful in every situation. He also spams Mahu's weakness, projectiles. Mahu does not have a projectile counter and doesn't have much to. I mean, he can move quickly to get around them, but we're talking about a character who spams like 80% of her moveset is literally projectiles. You will not. Kara will also. Sometimes a Kara can be super aggressive and basically stun lock you sometimes. It's crazy to me how powerful Kara really is. No matter what the situation is, no matter what character, she will probably win. Especially if it's a zoner Kara. The reason why I didn't mention her in the Sands or the Sands countering Mahu's crap is just he counters everybody overall. So there's not much I can do. There's not much you can do. If you fight a good Kara, you lose. There's not much you can do. I would still try to win, but don't expect to get far, especially since Kara will easily turn you into a punishable mess of hell, basically. So yeah, she'll turn you into mush in like 2 seconds. He's just OP. Like I hate Kara. Nobody likes Kara. Well, overall, that's about it. This video wasn't too long, and this was honestly done just because I just want to see people be good at Kara, and also because I was bored as hell. So I just made this for fun, honestly, just to make you hopefully help you get good at Mahu. Um, uh, Other than that, I could sit here and go on and on about how much better the AI Mahu is, and how he can turn into an imposter, inkillable beast, unlike the player Mahu, but that would take forever. Um, so yeah, overall, Mahu could probably get changes. I would love to see some actual improvement on him and just make him more fun to play. Because right now it feels like you have to be the best player in the game to actually be effective as him. Because I've seen a lot of Mahus and they just get shredded, and they're probably like, how am I being shredded as a character that is built to adapt to any and all phenomena and just gets shredded by the first person they meet? It's because they're just not playing Mahu correctly, and playing Mahu is just like, it's just painful sometimes. It's just sadness sometimes. Overall, Doc made Mahu very questionable sometimes. So thanks, Doc. Um, but yeah, that's about it. There's not much I can say about him anymore. Bye.